Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. Progress. Got a lot of work done, guys, on this 57 Ford custom project. This one here, not a lot more on the body yet, but I did do some sanding and some more filling on it. I'll go over that in a minute. But mainly, I've spent most of my time working on the chassis, frame and everything, and getting the rear suspension in. And guys, I was able, with a little bit of perseverance and patience, I was able to achieve what I wanted to go for, which is to use the complete drivetrain suspension from the 99 Mustang. We got that accomplished. So here's the chassis. Now, I don't know why, guys, when I film this, it looks like everything on the front turns out, but it is fairly straight. Now, one thing I will say, starting out right off the bat, when I put all this stuff together, I did not use any calipers to measure. Everything is pretty much eyeball fitted up, test fit and snip here and snip there. And it's, albeit not perfect, number one, because I'm not perfect, it's coming out how I had pictured it. So with that in mind, as we progress here through the video, you'll see where we're at. So I was able to use that independent rear suspension there. I got the CV shafts all painted up there. Now I did have to go and take the spring mounts. I did have to trim them up so the wheels would fit. And actually on this side here, let's see, right here, I actually had to come through the fender well just a little bit for some tire clearance. But once again, none of that will be seen. It's all going to be hid up underneath the fender well anyways. But we got the front suspension there. I just went ahead and painted it all black. I did opt to go with with just like the silver color control arms in the back. The springs are in there. They're tough to see, but they are mounted up in there. And I'm still going to try to fit some shocks up in there somewhere. See what I can come up with on that. Just a little bit more realism there on the back. Same thing with the front. Now, again, this was probably the biggest thing here on the chassis. When I started this, I actually had a big V right in here. So this was all open right here. So what I did is I just took a piece of square. I don't know if I have any out here. I don't think I have any beside me right now. Yeah, here we go. Grab this here. I just took a piece of this square styrene right here and basically cut that down and made like a wedge shape, and I put it down in here and glued it in fast, and then I just filled it, and that was done on both sides right here as well. So got all that filled in, and if you look from the outside here, nice and smooth. Took the paint very nice, and then I just, once I did that and filled it in and kept working it until it looked like one solid piece. So I was really pleased with the way that came out. Now we'll set this up in here. And I'm going to set this interior in here too right now, temporarily. We can get the look of how it's going to be when it sets in there. You set this chassis in here, guys, it's looking pretty good. I got the stance that I wanted out of it. And that's actually, set there. That's actually right where we're going to be. So check it out. So that's the stance I wanted. Like I said, I was able to go with all of the parts there from the 99 Mustang. When we get the engine transmission mounted permanently, I'll see which drive shaft is more suitable, whether the Mustang one will work okay or the one from the 57 Ford, or if I have to fabricate one, that's not going to be an issue either. But I think I can probably get that Mustang one to work if it's long enough. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the engine. I'm going to pull this body back off and we'll set this engine. But here is the engine. I do have some touch-ups to do because I did do some handling on this, after I had initially painted, and things weren't quite, they were still just a little tacky when I started to assemble things. So I got a little bit of touch-up to do, but there, that's coming along okay. And then we're going to set this down in here. We get this, and the only thing I got to figure out, see, that's going to set up okay there. But I do have this rack and pinion unit that actually goes right here. But I got to figure out just the right way to set that, because the oil pan actually is in the way. So I'll do some monkeying around with that, and I'll figure out how to get that set right up in there so it's going to work okay and look right. So we're going to put this body back on here real quick. Working around the camera, it's kind of tough to see. So there, you see how that engine's sitting in there. It leans back a little bit, but from that way, there's nothing going to interfere. And then we put this plenum. Here's the plenum I got for it. I chose this one. Went ahead and painted that like a Ford blue. And you can see that Cobra on there. And there is a decal for that too. So if I can get this to sit on here decently, and I'll have to do some tweaking on it after I get it mounted permanent like, because it's not setting 100%. Kind of off the camera there too, so I apologize for that. So we'll just try to set this on here. Never wants to do it. Grab a tweezers. It never wants to do it when you're on camera, guys. It's very, very tricky. So get it on here. Anyway, I'm going to give you a ballpark. It will be straightened up when I get it completely on there. But this is what we're going to, this is kind of what it's going to be like right there. You see, I'll have to straighten that up. But I did cut I cut a hole over here. I cut it a little big for this air intake right here. But that'll fit, that'll tuck right up under the fender there. See, that wants to keep coming off. So you get the idea there. But we are able to use that Cobra engine. 4.6 liter V8. So that is awesome that I'm able to do that. And see, anything else that has to do with the chassis. Oh, here's where I cut off for the original, from the original front end. I just fused that in with the Mustang chassis. The only thing, I had talked about using these fender wells, but because of the shock towers here. But I tell you what, guys, I opted not to do that because my thinking was it would have been a one-time deal. One little thing to go wrong. And, I mean, since I've got all the rest of the body pretty well how I'm wanting to get it, I just didn't want to take that chance of messing something up. I mean, those would have set in there pretty nice. But we're just going to have to use our imaginations on the way the shocks mount up in there. So I just did cut those aprons off down there. And I think this is going to come out pretty nice. What I did do, take this out of here. What I did do is I cut out where the original radiator would have been, right there. And that will allow us to use, I don't have this off the sprue yet, but this will allow us to use that Mustang radiator with the electric fan. That thing should fit right in there. I might have to construct my own radiator hoses, but once I get that far and get everything fitting up, I can test fit and everything and see if I can use the Mustang kit radiator hoses. And there's that drive shaft, so we'll see if we can't maybe use that too if we get the right length in there. So you can see here, this is from because I had two of these kits. See, there's the other front suspension. I had two of these kits, but you can see there the length and the width of that rear end for the Mustang. And I'll show you here how I really had to shorten those up. So I don't know if we can make a comparison. You see how long that is and see how narrow that I've got now. So that come along. And the only thing, guys, I'm not going to do is I'm not going to use the Mustang kit exhaust, which would have the converters. This really probably should have them unless I could sneak them in right here. I may still try to do that. You got your exhaust pipe here and here. Maybe I can sneak those converters in here. We'll go into the mufflers then, and then just out the back. And then you got these resonators towards the back here. But once again, I just opted to go black underneath because what I found on this one, there was so much test fitting before I could actually assemble everything to paint. And I actually had to paint this rear carrier and all that separately before I glued it all in. So I just opted to go with just 100% black bottom. And then when I do the interior, I'll make sure this is all the same color black, as the rest of the chassis here. So that's the other thing we'll take care of when we get that far. The only thing I kind of goofed on, and really if I wouldn't point it out, nobody's going to know it because as far as those set up in there, but actually when I had cut these, take this engine out, when I had cut these axles in the back, when I went to assemble them, I actually put them on the opposite sides, and I already had the rotors and backing plates and everything already in there. And actually, this caliper right here is actually supposed to be at the back. But, you know, like I said, with the wheel wells on there, if you don't point it out, ain't nobody else going to know it. But that's okay. In our world, for some reason, they're always altering things. We got the calipers on the front of the rear wheels there. So, and then the calipers are in the correct spot up front. I just painted them black, just to kind of show through there. So, that's how it's coming along so far, guys. Looking good there for the interior. We're going to go with this back seat. This is from one of the 57 Ford kits. So it'll go in there. I decided to go with this console. I think that's how I'm going to go. No, it's actually out of the 62 Buick kit. Once again, a GM console, Ford car, but custom. There's no boundaries. You can use whatever you want. And we'll find a place to put a little shifter in there too, when we get that far. As far as the door panels go, I think I'm just going to leave them like they would have been originally. But one of these kits has an option for like power windows that actually goes over this window crank. So I think I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to paint these, you know, like contrasting colors and all, like on the inside there, to match with the outside. Again, there's the dash. We'll keep it pretty much original. I am going to use the decal cluster for the gauges in here, just something modernized, and I don't know that I have it right now, but as far as the steering column goes, yeah, it's in this bag here. Probably, guys, I should have had all this dug out before, huh? But once again, here we go. Yeah, we had it. She was in there. So, yeah, here we go. So we're going to use this steering column, and it's got the like the tilt wheel mechanism there, and then the turn signal. Of course, it'll have a floor shifter in it. So we're going to go with that for the steering column, and then we're going to use this custom steering wheel here. I think I'm just going to go with that. Use as many custom parts as we can. So we'll come up with something on that. And then I'm still deciding on colors. I'll run this past you guys, see what you think. And I'm thinking, actually, I want it to be purple, like a metallic purple, but I'm thinking of possibly, and I'm going to have to practice on something else. I'm going to either do a black fade from the bottom up in the top, upwards, or I'm going to have most of the front black and then just fade into the purple back here. So by the time you get to this area, it's pretty much all purple. So I'm just going to try to do some testing on some other stuff, but that's initially what I'm thinking of on this. I did some more scribing on that for the chrome, and then when I was cutting this out, the old radiator out, actually popped this whole end cap off. So I've actually got that back on and starting to fill it in, looking pretty decent. And for the grill treatment, I'm considering this. I found this. I had this in an old 50 Ford or 49 Ford, and I'm thinking maybe going something like this with it. So you get something like that, and then maybe just leave all that open. It actually, I think, would go over like this. Like such. I'm still going with some different options, but I think that would look pretty nice in there. Just leave everything all open in behind it. So, but that's stuff to work on. Like I said, we're making progress. I'm getting all these fins filled in back here. Get my hand behind there so you can see it'll focus. Getting those filled in, and again, I do still have the taillights. They're all painted. They'll be ready to go. So they'll set back in here like this. Kind of follow that same theme from the front there. So again, just got to wet sand the body, do some more little bit of fill work around the front here, get everything smoothed out. Again, it's going to be a long process yet, but I'm going to go with that. I'm going to do like a black and purple interior, I think, with I did pick up some gray flocking, and I think we're going to do that for the carpet. So with that, guys, that's actually the progress on the 57 Ford Custom. Coming along, starting to look just as I had envisioned. Once again, all those years ago when I started this, again, this is a probably 25 year running project. It's just set in the box and in a tote for such a long time if I decide to get it out and get it done. I did get this back, this factory, or this original, and I'm not finding it right now. Anyway, the back glass from the kit looks like it's going to fit okay in here. I shouldn't have to cut anything down. Maybe just trim the bottom edge off very carefully. I still got to come up with some kind of windshield that's going to fit, because when I did this top, I didn't section it out this way. I just cut it and dropped it straight down. So that's going to be something else to work on too. But there it is, guys. Coming along, making good progress. Guys, I appreciate all the comments on this. I've gotten a lot of different suggestions. A couple people pushed me to definitely try to go with that rear cradle and everything. And guys, there it is in real life. So we got that going and heading in the right direction on it. So that's all I got for now, guys. Until next time, if you guys like the video, please give me a like, share, subscribe, and comment. All the good stuff. Subscribers, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And so until next time, this is Eric from Eric's Model Garage saying you guys have a great day. God bless you, and happy modeling.